They live or what they do reaps the benefits of their service. Today, all across the nation, patriotic Americans are gathering at events like this one and are remembering the countless sacrifices of our nation's veterans. As we honor them, we should also reflect on the many costs attached to our victories over tyranny and the many liberties we enjoy today because of their selflessness and sacrifices. Our veterans cherish the values and virtues upon which our nation was founded and bravely answered the call to preserve them. We owe so much to today's generation of great patriots and to those of the past as well. As I stand here today, we mustn't forget the thousands of our best and brightest who are deployed to all corners of the earth, defending our freedoms. We pray for their safe return, and we stand ready to support their families while they are away. Americans have always fought for our freedoms, dating back to our founding days and the Revolutionary War, and we know firsthand that only at great cost can the concept of liberty and justice become a reality, and only with great sacrifice will freedom prevail. Through the years, it has been those who have worn the uniform, tenaciously defending and preserving our way of life, who have paid the ultimate price. America's proud Marines, soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guardsmen. Each page of America's history is etched with the sacrifice of our armed forces. On each page, the legacy of their accomplishments is written. From the Spanish-American War in 1898, in Cuba and the Philippines, to the battlefields of the Argonne Forest and Belleau Wood during World War I, to the beaches of Normandy in Europe and the islands like Guadalcanal, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa of the Pacific during World War II. Our armed forces fought against the evil tyranny of the Axis powers. After years of intense fighting, America prevailed, liberating continents and millions of their citizens from the dark grip of cruelty and repression. And when communism threatened freedom-loving nations, our military held the line. Thousands of Americans' finest died fighting in Korea, and thousands more have served there in the years since to ensure South Korea remains free. During the Cold War, when the Soviet Union eyed world domination, it was our military that suppressed their ambitious plan. Because of our armed forces, Western Europe became home to democracy, and it blossomed and spread throughout other nations around the world. More than 3 million of our service people served in Vietnam, fighting against a determined enemy. They were also forced to contend with a harsh and extreme environment: jungle, insects, disease, heat, and humidity. Worst of all, the hostility and the alienation they felt from some of their own countrymen. But our military has more than persevered since all of those dark days. Our armed forces bravely go wherever needed, to places like Panama, Lebanon, Haiti, Kosovo, Bosnia, Somalia, Grenada, and Southwest Asia during Operation Desert Storm. And today, our military continues to endure the longest sustained war in our history. It is an undeniable fact that America's veterans earned every one of the benefits promised to them by making a commitment that 99% of other Americans are simply unwilling to make. As Americans, we all equally share the responsibility to ensure that our veterans are cared for. That responsibility is owed to and extends to service members who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and especially to our wounded warriors. As veterans of foreign wars, we have been unrelenting in our efforts to secure sufficient treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injuries. We have championed for care for our military families, battled for increased funding for child care, spousal support, career development, lodging, and education. And for more than a decade, we fought for and finally secured the post-9/11 GI Bill. Any simple words or ceremony we offer in honor of veterans will ring hollow if, collectively, we are willing to do anything less for the men and women who have done so much for us. When a defender of this nation returns home, we, you and me, must be committed to ensuring they are able to obtain timely, adequate health care and all that they so justly deserve from the government. Our veterans have earned the right to be treated with dignity and respect. And you can help make sure that happens by pushing America's leaders to do the right thing when it comes to veterans. Before we leave here today, let us offer a prayer of thanks to those who are currently serving and for the brave souls of our departed comrades, friends, and loved ones. Let us always remember the freedoms our veterans have earned for all of us, and let us always draw strength and inspiration from what they have done. We are truly privileged to have such heroes amongst us. God bless you. God bless America. I'd like to end this ceremony. I'd like to end this speech with a moment of silence to honor all of those whose lives were cut short defending our nation. Let us pause a moment to think about their families, the people who loved and cherished them, who will always carry the burdens resulting from their tragic loss. Please rise.